everybody in, set up correctly, and make sure we have enough people in the room. If it gets a little warm or crowded in here, we're also in 3 large. Feel free to head over there as well. But today we're going to be talking about business intelligence, particularly the Microsoft Business Intelligence Stack. What good is it? Why do we care about it? What's the whole point of it? A little bit about me. I am Jessica Moss. I'm a business intelligence architect here at Ironworks. We have a good-sized team, and we're really doing a lot of great projects out there, helping companies put together their entire business intelligence systems and their technology implementations as well. So we're going to go ahead and start by talking about what is business intelligence, how it is at Ironworks, the kind of services that we offer, and then talk about the particular aspects of it as well. We'll go into Microsoft Business Intelligence products, the SQL Server Engine, integration analysis, reporting services, Excel, and performance point services as well. I know that's all gobbledygook to you right now, but we're going to go through each of those pieces in a little bit. We'll do some demos on a few of those topics. We'll wrap up and take any questions. And please feel free to ask questions in the middle. I'll get going and I'll start talking and I'll just keep rolling, so just yell out at me if something's not clear or you want to go ahead and ask a little more detail about something, and we'll go ahead and take it in the middle of the presentation. Does that work? Yep. Good. Okay, so business intelligence at Ironworks, what we do here. We have 3 different categories of service offerings. Strategy and prep is going to be more of our business consulting side, putting into place some of the advising topics. So what you can actually do at your company, how you can create a vision for the future for your business intelligence application, setting up your requirements and your design, figuring out your data profiling, what kind of data you have, any concerns or issues that you may have, and how we can fix those for the future. And then putting together processes of, if we do have some data issues, how do we go ahead and fix those as we go forward? Our middle section is our data integration and aggregation, which is going to be more of our pulling all that information together into one place. We're doing that integration from integration services, as it's aptly named. Actually putting together our data warehouses and our data marts, aggregating that data up so that people can get at that information quickly. And also we can do some data mining, where we're forecasting in the future, based on past data that we have, what's going to happen. And then finally we have our information access piece. This is a lot of where you can consider your information workers or your business analysts, how they can get that information out. Now that we've put those processes in place, now that we've created that warehouse, we've got to actually use that information. And we've got several products that can help us with that as well. So what is business intelligence? It's very simple. All we're doing is trying to create something that is going to help a company make better business decisions. We put together processes, we bring together all of that data, we use the technology stack, one of which we're talking about today, to help them do that. Bringing data from all sorts of different places, putting it in one location, changing that data so that it can go into one location, that people can quickly see what that information is, what they need to do their job. Very simple. So then we get into all the different pieces in the Microsoft stack that are going to help us do this. So for Microsoft, we have 3 products, high-level products, we'll say. The top being Office. That's going to be our Excel and our Word and things we use on a day-to-day basis, things the business analysts are very comfortable with. That's how we get our information out. Then we have our business productivity infrastructure. That's going to be SharePoint, putting together a portal, the collaboration aspect of it, getting that information out. And then finally, we have our data infrastructure and BI platform. And that's going to be underneath the covers, when we talk about creating a data warehouse, moving that data around, putting all of that together. That's going to be the SQL Server side of it. So let's go ahead and jump right into this now. We're going to talk about what we're doing with business intelligence. So as we can see here, we have data spread everywhere, just like kids, willy-nilly all over the place. We've got something in our sales department, we've got something in our finance department, we've got something in our operations department. Data's everywhere. You have Excel spreadsheets that you email out to whoever needs it. One person does a little bit of analysis, they send it to the next person. That person does a little bit of analysis and they send it to the next person. You've got that data going everywhere. So for business intelligence, what we're really trying to do is pull all of that information together and organize it. Put it into a structure that we can get that information out. We're going to conform that data into organized entities so that we can see exactly what we have in our system. Now, the underlying base of what we're going to use is going to be our SQL Server engine. And some of the things or the words that you may hear when you're talking about if you need SQL Server, the underlying database, are things like this. If we have an application that's using SQL Server, if this is our source database, if we're trying to talk about storage of that information. If you're talking about, sometimes a business person will come to you and say, this column doesn't match this column. That's the kind of thing that we're going to listen for and know that we need to use that underlying database. And that database is our SQL Server engine. This is Microsoft's data platform, which is where we put all of our information. It is a regular relational database management system, and we can organize that into either a data warehouse structure or as our source system to pull that data out for us. I'm actually not going to show a demo of our SQL Server engine because as we go through a few of the other demos, we're going to be pulling data from that and we're actually going to be using that aspect. So we don't need to call this one out directly. So we're going to jump to our next product. And to use this product, we get to hear information from our business users. For example, we can have one person that says, I'm trying to analyze my sales data for the entire United States. I need that total sales for all of those different states. I need this for my month-end reporting. Executives are using these numbers. It's very important. You can't get this wrong. We need this information. And on the same hand, you can hear another business analyst say, well, you know that sales data that other person needed? I need that too, but I'm actually taking it and I'm comparing it to our target numbers for all of those states. And that target information that I have, that's in an Excel spreadsheet. Can't count the number of companies that I go to where their budget or their target information are in Excel spreadsheets, because that's how they do it. They're looking at different pieces of information themselves, and that's where they're storing that information. So really what we want to do is take that information and put it all together. And a few of the things that they're going to say that we need to actually do is load that information into one location. It's also called ETL in some cases, extract, transform, and load, where we're pulling information from many disparate sources, from those sources, and pulling it into one destination. And the product that we use in the Microsoft stack is Integration Services. Now this is an enterprise data integration tool. We're actually going to use the Visual Studio product suite to create these packages that move this data around and put it into one particular location. The integration packages themselves have two aspects. One is going to be our control flow. This is where we can do big tasks. We can actually FTP files from a different location to our server. We can go ahead and run bulk SQL statements and go ahead and say, hey, wipe out this entire table that we're about to load with new data. We can send an email from within Integration Services to say, hey, we're getting ready to start this, or there's an issue, somebody better take a look at this. And then we have our second piece, which is our data flow. This is where we actually do our data manipulation. So we have sources, transformations where we do our manipulations, and then destinations, which is where the data is going to. And the data is going to go through and be modified through that.